Hello, Concurrent Enrollment student, and welcome to Santa Monica College. My name is Maral Hailer, and I'm the Director of Academic Affairs.
Hi, my name is Amy Lim, and I'm an SMC counselor.
We are here to do a brief orientation on things that concurrent enrollment students should be aware of before they take a class.
All right, so first up, just know that you have support while you're taking your classes at SMC as a high school student. So there are multiple ways that you can access help at SMC. You have access to general counseling, and that includes drop-in counseling Monday through Friday. All you have to do is visit smc.edu/counseling, and you can be linked up with the first available counselor if you have any questions. You can also visit our main homepage, smc.edu, and chat with Pearl. Pearl knows a lot of answers to many frequently asked questions, and that is accessible 24/7. So you can use the chat function to ask Pearl, how do I order a transcript, or how do I drop a class, and they will show you tutorial videos. Those videos are also listed on our FAQ webpage, so make sure you check there first for any kind of quick 1 to 3 minute tutorial videos. And you also have access to admissions and records. So if you have questions regarding your concurrent enrollment classes, so enrollment specific questions, the screen on the presentation here will show you the email address for concurrent enrollment, as well as how to connect with admissions.
All right, so all of you have enrolled into a concurrent enrollment class, and then now I'm sure you know the perks, but I just want to take a moment and go over them. This course that you're taking might be UC and CSU transferable, and you might also get high school credit. Please check in with your high school to determine the high school credit. You also will get college credit. This is a college class and will be on your permanent college transcript forever. So you don't need to take an AP test or submit scores for a different exam. You automatically get college credit for the course that you are taking. And the best perk is you get free tuition. So all you have to pay for is your fees and your books.
So as an SMC student, you will be managing your own enrollment, and you will do that in your own student portal. So your portal is called Corsair Connect. You may have already accessed and logged into this account to add your first SMC class. If you haven't done that yet, you'll have to activate your account for the first time, and you can get help with doing that by going to smc.edu/activate. Once you know your login information, your username and your password, you'll just log in, and that's where you're going to be able to view your class deadlines if you've already enrolled, your schedule. It's your portal basically to manage everything. So your Canvas inbox, your email inbox, and also accessing your unofficial transcripts. If you have any issues with your login, you can always get help through Student IT Help, and their email address is studentithelp@smc.edu. Some other technology you'll want to become familiar with is Canvas and your SMC email. Canvas is the student learning platform that SMC uses. So this is where all your courses are housed. So if you're enrolled in an SMC class for this upcoming term, just know you'll have access to your Canvas account on the first day of classes. And you can log into Canvas straight through Corsair Connect. So this is a screenshot of what Corsair Connect looks like when you first log in. And you'll see here you have access to Canvas as well as your SMC email inbox. You can also go directly to smc.edu/Canvas for any kind of help. For example, the Canvas help desk if you have issues with login, as well as some tutorial videos on how to turn in an assignment in Canvas or how to use the Canvas portal. You want to make sure you're checking both your Canvas inbox and your SMC email because they function separately, and your professor may have a preference for communicating with you for one or the other. So make sure you're checking both of those inboxes for instructor communication. If you have an iPhone or an Android or any kind of smartphone, you'll want to download the free Canvas app because it's really convenient to be able to access your course materials while you're on the go. If you are using your SMC email to communicate with any SMC staff or professors, make sure you are including your name, your ID number, and the section number of the class that you're talking about, as well as a detailed description of your request or your question to your professor.
All right, college expectations. So college is a little different than high school. One, you have to advocate for yourself. So I'm just going to jump into the first part of this slide first. Your parent or your guardian will not be able to speak to a faculty member or get information about how you're doing in the class. You have to reach out to your faculty member on your own behalf and advocate for your own education. Also, we have a very detailed course syllabus. So our course syllabus has the faculty members' contact information, the dates and deadlines for when things are due, what chapters you have to read, and office hours. It is critical that you go to the office hour and meet with your faculty member if you have questions or concerns and want to have a one-on-one meeting with them. They also have the grading method on the syllabus. Before you ask your faculty member about any questions about the course, check your syllabus first, because most of the information will be included in there. Attendance is critical in a summer course. 1 day of summer is equivalent to 1 week of a regular instruction. So please attend daily. And on the first day of class, you're going to be logging into Canvas like Amy just showed you and looking for direction from your faculty member. If you have a scheduled Zoom class, your faculty member will be emailing you information about where to go for that. And then arranged hours. Some of you have a course that says arranged hours, and that just means that you complete the course content on your own time. So you're going to be going into Canvas and looking for direction from your faculty member. And if anything comes up, please reach out to your faculty member and let them know that extenuating circumstances happen and for whatever reason you are unable to attend class. Always communicate with your faculty member. That is the key to success in a course.
All right, so how much time should you be committing to a college class? Looking at the summer term specifically, that is a condensed term. So our summer term is typically 6 to 8 weeks. And some of you may be in a class that's even more condensed. So it's faster than a traditional 6-week summer class. You may be in a class that's 3 weeks long. So to calculate how much time you should commit, you'll want to look at how many weekly lecture hours your class is by looking at your class schedule. And that will be reflected in Corsair Connect. So for example, if you have a class, you'll see here an example on the right-hand side for a 3-week, 3-unit class. That class might have 19 hours a week of lecture hours. So that's in class time, even if it's virtual. You'll want to multiply that by 2 to calculate your weekly study hours. Now, this is just a rough estimate. It's not an exact science, but it's a good starting point to kind of see how much you should be committing weekly to studying and in-class learning. So that would be a total of 57 hours per week of lecture and study time. You'll also see a sample here for a 6-week, 3-unit class. So that's more weeks of class time, but less weekly hours of lecture time. It's the same amount of work, it's just a different schedule. So please be mindful of scheduling in your time and practicing positive time management skills by using a planner to plan in all of your weekly study time.
All right, college expectations. So again, this course is going to go on your permanent college transcript forever. So you want to be mindful of your grade and check your grade in Canvas throughout the semester and make sure that you're doing well. If for whatever reason you decide that this class is not something you want to continue, you are able to drop the course. And if you go into your Canvas account, your Corsair Connect account, and then you go to your enrollment page, you'll see right here that you have different dates. So avoid a W deadline, you'll have that date. And that means that no one will ever know that you took the course. Then we have the drop deadline. And then if you drop by that deadline, you will have a W on your transcript. And what a W means is just withdrawal. It just means that you attempted the course, but for whatever reason, you withdrew. If you are taking a 3-week course, you have a very short window of time to drop the class while avoiding a W. So make sure that you are familiar with these dates before the semester starts. And seek help if you are struggling, and reach out to the counselor and your faculty member for assistance on how you can do better in the course and maybe improve your grade before the drop deadlines.
Some other college expectations are academic integrity and the student honor code. At SMC, original work is really important. So if you are using ideas or work, or you find a paper written by someone else and you'd like to use it in your work, make sure that you're using citations to cite other people's work. Some professors use a software called Turnitin, which scans for plagiarism. So just know that if you are submitting assignments through Canvas or whatever means, it is possible that your professor is using a software to scan for plagiarism. If you have any questions where you're not quite sure, am I plagiarizing, am I not? A good resource to use is either your counselor, your professor directly, or also a librarian, because they are very well versed in how to do citations and to give you resources on citing your work. In terms of the honor code, this is something that you've already accepted when you enrolled in your class, that you would adhere to SMC's honor code. You'll see the 4 principles on your screen. The main thing we'll want to emphasize for online classes is Zoom and online etiquette. So making sure that any kind of discussions or communication with your peers or your instructors are professional at all times. And keep in mind that these are college classes, so content-wise, and in comparison to high school classes, there could be potentially some adult content that is covered in a college course. So just be mindful that your expectation is to act appropriately at all times.
So campus resources. As a concurrent enrollment student, you have access to our bookstore, our library, and tutoring. Not all subjects have tutoring, but some do, so check the website. And refer to these links if you need help.
If you have an IEP or a 504 plan or any kind of disability where you feel you need accommodations in your college class, make sure that you get those approved through our Center for Students with Disabilities. You can find this center by going to our homepage and clicking on Student Support at the top and clicking on the Center for Students with Disabilities. These are the instructions on how to apply for accommodations. You'll see you'll need to make an appointment with a counselor first, and then submit some documentation to their department in order to review what accommodations you may qualify for. They will then go over with you the process for requesting these accommodations directly with your professor. It's important that you do this before the semester starts, or at least the first week of the semester, so your professor is aware of your accommodations in the beginning.
All right, we're towards the end of our orientation, and once you've completed the course, you'll be able to see your grade in Canvas. And like Amy said, you'll also be able to view your unofficial transcript on Corsair Connect. And then many high schools request that you send them your transcripts. So if you go to smc.edu/transcripts, you can order them at that site.
And that's it. We hope you have a great summer, and don't forget to reach out if you ever have any questions.
Have a great summer, everybody.